Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Today we look at life at work.
We talk about working conditions.
And we meet this man. Bill McIntosh, the manager of an oil platform in the North Sea.
What kind of work do you do? Do you like it?
I work as a press officer for the Bank of England, so what I have to do is to explain the bank's policies to the press and the public in general and answer their questions. I like explaining things, so I enjoy my job.
I'm a student and I don't particularly like going to school.
I'm a professional footballer and manager, and I love it.
I'm a teacher and I like it because I find it very stimulating and I enjoy working with people, particularly young people.
I'm an archaeologist. I enjoy my job. I enjoy the thrill of discovering things that have lain hidden for hundreds or thousands of years, and I enjoy trying to tell others about it as well.
What was your first job, Kevin?
Well, when I was a student, I worked in a hotel during the vacation.
Why?
Why? So that I could make some money.
How much did you make?
Not much. The wages were very low. I worked in a hotel so that I could make some money. But the wages were very low. Wages, or salary, or pay. That's the money you earn from your job.
The working conditions here are terrible. Terrible. They're so bad that I intend to complain to the management.
Excuse me.
Really?
Yes. I mean, the wages are awful.
May I say something?
Just a minute. We don't get any wages.
Exactly. And we never get a break.
We don't need a break. We're machines. We never get tired. We never go wrong.
But I demand the right to have a break.
But you...
Let me finish, as I was saying. I demand the right to have a break.
We don't need a break. And we never go wrong. Never.
The working conditions weren't very good when I worked in the hotel either. I worked for 10 hours a day. I worked for so long that I never had time to do anything else, except sleep. And the meal breaks were so short that I never had time to eat anything. I was hungry all the time. And the wages were so low that I didn't save any money.
Kevin worked in a hotel so that he could earn some money. That was his reason for working there. But the wages were very low. The result was he didn't save any money at all.
Off the north coast of Scotland in the North Sea, there are oil platforms which work 24 hours a day, pumping oil and gas from under the sea. Bill McIntosh is the manager of a North Sea oil platform. Let's find out what the work of an oil platform is and how that work is organized.
The platforms that we work from produce oil and gas, and within the platform we make the oil and gas safe. We process it just a little. We then export it, as we call it, through a pipeline to shore. Once it gets to the shore, it's then loaded on a large tanker and taken to some other part of the world. When we're working offshore, we work what we call a shift pattern, and we work 2 weeks offshore, and then we come home for 2 weeks onshore. Typically, my day will start at 5 in the morning. I will be at my desk generally at about 5:30 or 6 in the morning. The day shift crew they will come on at 7. And they will work right through until 7 later that day. Breakfast, we normally have breakfast between 6 and 7:30, something like that. Lunch break is about 11:30 through to 12:30. And then the evening meal, which for the night shift is breakfast time, is 6:30 until 7:30. And then for the night shift crew, because bear in mind, an oil production platform runs 24 hours a day, then around 11:30 till 12:30 is the midnight meal. An oil production platform offshore is interesting because it's where you live as well as the place that you work. So you can't, unlike onshore, you can't drive home. So offshore, we have a gymnasium, for example, which has a multi-gym running machines and stuff like that. And we have snooker, billiards, table tennis. We have quite a variety of things. And we have a large cinema, and we take satellite television so we can get news virtually as it's happening. The normal working day offshore is 12 hours. That occasionally stretches to 15 hours, but the day itself is very demanding. The work itself is quite demanding. So there is usually only 3 or 4 hours at the most after the end of the shift to occupy yourself. People tend to be in bed at 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. We look for as much of the home comforts as we can possibly get. So the accommodation that we have is very good. But importantly, the meals, and you are working a long day. It's a minimum of a 12-hour day. We're working an 84-hour week. And the food is commensurately good. Sometimes too much food.
They have to work 12 hours a day and 7 days a week.
Yes, but after 2 weeks, they get 2 weeks off. Here's how Bill McIntosh described the hours of work.
The work on the oil platform is done in shifts. There's the day shift, the men who work from 7 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night. And there's the night shift, the men that work through the night. Everybody on the platform works a 12-hour day and an 84-hour week.
The oil platform is situated close to the Arctic Circle. What are the hazards, the dangers of working there?
The particular platform that I actually work on, in fact, is in an area we know as the Shetland Basin, which is very much in the northern North Sea. Now that's exposed to quite a variety of climate, quite rapid climate changes as well. Now this is typically in the month of January, for example, we can get wind speeds in excess of 100 knots. The rain can be very heavy, the snow can be very heavy, and because we are only 4 degrees below the Arctic Circle, we can get quite a severe drop in temperature. The seas in these northern waters can really be quite violent. Typically we might have waves of around 12 or 15 meters in height. And they come in from the North Atlantic, and they're very powerful. It is particularly important to have firm and fixed safety procedures offshore. It is a potentially hazardous environment. Typically, no one can leave the accommodation to go out into the workplace unless they are properly attired. Now, that means, as a minimum, they will be wearing a safety helmet, flame-proof coveralls, protective eyeglasses, and steel protected boots.
Violent seas, rapid climate changes, and heavy rain and snow.
And the platform itself is so dangerous that the workers have to wear protective clothing.
They wear safety helmets so that their heads are protected against injury. They wear protective eyeglasses so that their eyes are protected against the freezing wind.
It's quite incredible that anyone wants to work there.
Yes, hard, dangerous work, long hours, freezing weather.
That's right. The work is so hard and the weather is so severe. Why does anyone want to work there?
There are a number of reasons for people wanting to work offshore. Clearly, because it's a difficult environment, then the pay scale is much greater, is much higher. There are a number of additional benefits to working offshore. One of the main ones, of course, is perhaps the free time that you can get. You do work the 2 weeks offshore, but you do get a clear 2 weeks onshore. Now, in addition to that, because it is a relatively hazardous environment, working offshore, then there are other benefits, pension benefits, medical benefits, which are perhaps a little better than you might ordinarily expect to get onshore.
So, now we know. As the work is so dangerous, there are a lot of special benefits.
And the pay is good, and there's a lot of time off.
I'm afraid it doesn't attract me.
No? I could see myself on one of those platforms, drilling for oil, fighting against the wind and the sea.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Man against nature, fighting the elements, the waves lapping up against my soul.